Our brains are overloaded. Here's how alcohol-free living can change your life. So life is actually harder now than it was many years ago. And what I mean by that is in terms of our cognitive load. So this is the amount of information our brains have to deal with every single day. I recently did a Stompcast episode with Dr. Sean Watson, who said that we make around 35,000 decisions every single day. And this is having an impact on our ability to experience life right now, but potentially the future too. And the question is alcohol helping with that or making it worse? And could alcohol-free living be the answer to a lot of these problems? This is going to be a deep dive episode into the impact of alcohol on our cognitive load, but also how alcohol-free living could in fact change your life. Guys, if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel. My name is Dr. Alex George. I'm 2.5 years alcohol-free, and I'm here to support you on your experience of alcohol-free living. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up because it helps us reach more people and help people, which is what I'd like to do. So first of all, I want to discuss this idea of cognitive load and why it's so important. Like, are we really having a harder time mentally and cognitively than our previous, parents and other generations? And the question, I guess, comes down to what is it that our brain is dealing with? Well, a fundamental change we've experienced is digitalization over the last few years. A huge change we've seen in the last kind of 10, 20 years is the speed at which the digital age has transformed. Every year things progress faster than the last year. I mean, look at AI. I mean, a couple of years ago, what is AI? Now we're moving to the point where everyone's using it day to day, all the time, and that will only increase. How long will it be before we've got robots walking around cleaning the house? The thing is, things are happening very quickly. Things are moving faster. And I read an article the other day that said that AI is promising to take away problems for us and allow us to focus more on other things. But actually, all AI is probably going to do is mean that we have more time to think more and make more decisions, which actually is part of the problem. So in previous generations, you would get up in the morning, you'd say hello to wife and the kids, you'd have breakfast, you'd decide what you're going to put on to wear, you go to work, and you do your working day, you come home, you choose what you're going to watch on the television, but there'd be 3 channels, and before television there was nothing, and then you go to bed. The number of decisions you'd make would be a lot lower. I mean, think about, for example, someone who would be a man or woman who'd been hunting in the wild and so on. They'll wake up with the sunrise, they'll go out, they'll decide which direction they're going to hunt that day, they'll eat, and then they'll sit down and they'll be with the family, right? It is a simpler life. Now we wake up, emails are on, phone, scrolling. Even scrolling is making constant decisions. You're seeing a video, do I scroll on? Do I watch it? Do I like it? Do I not? What do I think? What's my judgment on this? Am I going to comment? If I'm going to comment, what am I going to say? Next video. We are making a huge number of decisions just by scrolling. I mean, Sean Watson said on the Stompcast that, just by scrolling for 30, 40 minutes in the morning, you are actually sapping your brain of the ability to make decisions and important decisions afterwards. I mean, it's part of the reason a lot of big CEOs say they make their big decisions in the morning, because that's when you have the most cognitive availability and freshness to make good decisions. So we're getting up, we're scrolling away, we're going to work, we're getting more emails than ever. Technology has meant that we can now be faster, we can meet new tasks faster than we could have. Used to write a letter and put it in the post, now emails pinged back and forth. Now we have Teams things and WhatsApp groups that you can be constantly back and forth with information. Everything is sped up to a degree that is quite ridiculous. We don't rest anymore. We're bored if we sit down for 2 minutes. Most people can't sit without picking their phone up, right? All of this is cognitive load. It's all pressure on the brain. And where does alcohol come in? Well, I mean, it's not going to surprise any of you if I say this, but alcohol makes all of this harder because we're asking our brains to do more and more and more. And we're probably reaching our capabilities, the limit of our capability of how many decisions we can make. I mean, 35,000 decisions each day. Can we make more? No, we can't make more decisions than that. What can we do? We can try and reduce the number of decisions we need to make. It's partly why Barack Obama famously would only have one suit in the wardrobe, or one style of suit, because I believe, I heard the quote that he said, I've got to run the country, I don't need to be making a decision on what suit to wear in the morning, which I absolutely love. Anyway, so we can try and reduce the decisions we're making, but ultimately there's still going to be lots of decisions to make, or we can improve our ability and our mental capacity to manage these things. What is alcohol doing? is decreasing that. Alcohol numbs your brain, alcohol burns a lot of the energy that you need. It's a huge dopamine hit when you drink, hangovers, anxiety. The cognitive effects of alcohol are profound. We know that alcohol kills brain cells. It literally destroys brain cells. So when you consume alcohol, you are limiting your brain's capacity to function. Think about how you feel the next morning after a drink. Or if you have a glass of alcohol, try and make good decisions. Try and do a maths problem after a couple of beers. You find it very difficult to do. So it really impacts directly the ability for your brain to function. The more you drink, when they do tests of this, they go people having 0 pints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The more you drink, the brain eventually will shut down. That's what happens. When people are really drunk, they don't go to sleep, they're sedated. And that's why when you're really drunk and you pass out, you're not actually sleeping. In the morning, you're really tired because you didn't sleep. You didn't do REM or non-REM, you didn't do sleep cycles, you were just sedated. We drugged you basically, you were sedated at that point. So alcohol sedates the brain, it stops it working. But it's not only that has the impact on our cognitive abilities, it's also the effect, as I say, not just in the sleep in that moment, but in the long term. So those who drink a couple of nights a week experience worse sleep. They don't complete the cycles of REM and non-REM properly, so the different stages of sleep that they should experience. And this is very important. I recently hear this analogy that I absolutely love around sleep. So when you're awake in the daytime, the day shift in your brain is working, all the neurochemicals, all the workers of the brain, the synapses, they're all working away, right? Then it becomes the night shift when you go to bed, and the new workers come in and the day workers go out. And the night worker's job is to tidy up all the synapses, to sort everything up, to clear up, make sense of all things, file things away so it's ready to be fresh the next day. What alcohol does is prevents you from doing that properly. It means that half the workers aren't allowed in, and when they come in, you're preventing them from doing their job, you're stopping them from doing their shift properly, you're taking away their tools, you're stopping them. So when you wake up the next day, you're tired and you're fatigued and you're not rested, and the cycle continues. So sleep is a huge one. If you want to have better cognitive ability, to be sharper, better relationships, better decisions, sleep better. Sleep better and you'll make better decisions. And to do that, we need to have an optimized state for sleep, which means thinking about sleep hygiene, to thinking about what you do before bed, including things like whether you exercise in the day, your morning light in the morning is very important, what is your sleep routine, all that's important. But removing alcohol from that can make a huge difference. So sleep can sometimes take a while to improve. It took me like several months to experience really good sleep. I've done a whole video on that, so you can check that out in my playlist of videos. You can check out that video. But actually in the short term, there are significant things that can improve very quickly. When you don't drink, even for a few days, the brain fog lifts, you often have better mental clarity, the mental energy improves, and you feel sharper. And a lot of this is because the effects that alcohol are having on the brain are being reversed and they're wearing off. Another thing that happens is often when you remove alcohol, you're replacing it with better things. So people, when they don't drink, they're more likely to go to the gym, they're more likely to drink plenty of water. Water is really important for the brain. Most of us do not drink enough water. Like water and the brain, vital if you have ADHD. Most ADHDers don't drink enough water, and one of the best ways to improve your focus with ADHD, drink lots of water. It really does help. So it's the idea that by removing the alcohol, you're allowing space for exercise. Exercise improves blood flow to the brain, improves your mental clarity. You eat better foods that are going to give you energy and better focus. So some of it in the short term is about alcohol going, yes, but bringing in other things that are helping you in that short term. So in the medium term, so from weeks to months, you can notice quite significant changes in your physiology, mentally and physically. So as the sleep improves, you have better clarity and focus. As your body adapts to not drinking, for a lot of people that means losing weight, you have more energy, you have more pep in your step because, well, you don't have the weight weighing you down, first of all, but secondly, all of a sudden, you have this, energy in the morning, you wake up and you feel vitalized, you've been exercising, so that's had a positive impact and you're more energized. It's a snowball effect. So the weight loss can be quite significant for people. In the medium term, you also start to benefit from the outcomes of your improved clarity in the early days. So you've probably been making better decisions, you start thinking more in the long term, you've done introspection, reflection, and you're getting this positive cycle of, hang on, I know who I am, I know what I want to do, and all of a sudden I can cope with this stuff so much better. Your capacity definitely increases, even in the medium term. And in the long term, what many people see is improvements with their mental health. And It's very, very hard to have capacity to deal with life's challenges, whether that's little things, big things, happy things, and otherwise, if you're struggling with your mental health, if you don't have good emotional stability. And emotional stability often improves when you remove alcohol. For some people, that can be within days, but it can take weeks or months for that to improve. Better mental health allows you to focus on other areas of your life. You know, if you've gone through a period of depression or anxiety, it's very hard to think about anything else apart from that when you're in that suffering. So anything you can do to improve your mental health is going to improve your ability to deal with challenges. It's going to improve your ability to handle cognitive load. So I think that's really something that's significant and not to be underestimated when it comes to being able to enjoy your life, make the most of your life, but to handle the expectations of life is when you remove alcohol, your mental health improves, and that makes you able to do more in your life. And ultimately, that's what we want, right? We don't want to spend our time suffering. We want to live. We want to enjoy our lives. So why does this all matter, right? Let's go back to this point of cognitive load. Why does this matter in today's world? We're overstretched. We have lots of expectations. Everything's been sped up. Things happen much more quickly. Think about, writing the letter, putting in the post, waiting a week for them to reply, to bam, email out, replies within minutes. Everything is faster, faster, faster. And so something has to give. Either we have to, as I say, manage what we're doing. We should consider our workload and what we're doing, and can we do things like manage phone time, boundaries, and so on. But can we also increase our capacity? Can we allow ourselves to be our best version each day, to be able to go at the day? And I think that's where quitting alcohol is just fantastic. There are many reasons, clearly, that I believe alcohol-free living is amazing. But one of the best is your capacity increases. People call it productivity, right? Being more productive, being able to do the things that you want to do. And that's the kind of definition of productivity, isn't it? I mean, Ali Abdaal talks about this. He's got his book, Feel Good Productivity, and he talks about this, that being productive is basically getting the things done that you want to do. That is the kind of definition of productivity. And there's nothing more frustrating than not having the capacity, the energy, the mental focus to be able to get that stuff done. And so I would highly recommend, if you're watching this video thinking, gosh, I feel overwhelmed, there's too much stuff, I can't keep up, I can't create change, but I drink alcohol, give alcohol-free living a go. Give it 90 days. If you've been on this channel with me for a while, you've heard me saying this before. I think 30 days is great, like dry Jan, and people do it in October as well. It kind of gives you a taste and flavour, excuse the pun, but it does actually take a lot longer for a lot of the benefits to come. You're kind of like, if you're kind of going back to drinking after 30 days, you're kind of going back before the best stuff happens. And I think 90 days gives you a good feeling of adapting to the life, trying out this new way of living and seeing if you enjoy it, and also reaping the benefits to then make a genuine decision of do I want this in the long term or not? Guys, I hope you found this video useful. I love kind of talking about these topics because I think they're things that actually do impact our life a lot, but we don't probably think about it so much. When's the last time that you thought about how many decisions you make each day and whether those decisions are affecting your happiness, and how we can actually improve our ability to make decisions and our capacity? It's probably not every day, but I think it is an important topic to cover. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video, but also share some more ideas or questions you have, topics that you think would be great for us to create and cover. I've also started doing a few more kind of lifestyle videos on this, where I'm kind of taking you guys out and about with me. Do you enjoy that kind of content? Do you want more of it? Let me know. Thank you as always, Thank you for joining me on the channel. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Take care and goodbye.